favorite knitters, Jill and Lindsay from Illinois. Lindsay, go ahead.
I guess I'm starting.
Go ahead with your questions.
Okay.
So that way you
can
can
I show the first sock?
Yeah, you can knit while we're talking. Right.
Here's sock number 1.
Yay! And if viewers forgot or they didn't see the last podcast, tell us again what the yarn is. Something circus, something?
Hold on. It's Direful.
Yes.
Is the name of the Direful yarns.
Yeah.
And it's Curiosity Voyage. And this is...
Why do I always think it's circus something?
Well, it kind of looks circusy.
It does. It looks big top festive. I know.
It's not, because it looks like there's kind of blood on this. So.
Because, yeah, okay. It's a gothic circus. That's it. Jill, do you want to start us off on what you have to show?
My show and tell today.
Oh, and I think we should be called the Uncultured Pearls.
Oh.
I'm not really cultured at all. I'm just saying. Yeah. Or not.
My daughter could do a logo. There we go.
Good.
Yeah, out of the three of us, I'm going to say Jill's the most cultured. I don't know, you both are. More than me, for sure.
I tell you what, Lindsay can do just about anything.
She can. Lindsay's like the Renaissance knitter.
She is.
I know.
Baker, knitter,
Cake
decorator.
baker, graphic.
Oh, you have something to share. Remind me later when it's my turn to share.
No, go ahead, because I'm bad.
Yes, please.
No, I suck at reminding. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. So I told you, like, in the very first podcast that we were on, about my great-grandma Tina.
Right.
So, like a week or so ago,
This is Christmas Stocking Great Grandma Tina. And
Yeah.
viewers, if you haven't watched that, I'll link to that episode down below. You got to go watch about Great Grandma Tina. Go ahead.
So a couple weeks ago, I had given my mom the key to my house to come get some boxes from my basement. And I get home and I'm like, it looks like she brought things, which was not in the plan. I come to find out she brought me Tina's knitting needles.
No.
So, and it's
Super
really
cool.
cool how they're stored.
Oh my word.
So, like, these are all the round ones, and they're like in this little
Case. Oh,
this
wow.
thing, like, yeah. And on the back, it says the size.
Oh. Wait, show us the top. What does that say? And like, where do people get that?
I have no idea where. It could be a million years old.
The circular solution. Okay, I'll
Oh,
Google
that's funny. I thought it was the circular. I couldn't. I couldn't tell that the needles are a C. Yeah, so that thing.
Lindsay, we love you so much.
So that's the circle ones, like the round ones. And then in this thing, which is also called the circular solution, but sticks.
Sticks. This is the straight solution.
So this is the,
On a podcast.
like,
Oh, that's awesome.
and it has a bunch at the top also.
Wow. So that should be the straight needle solution.
Well, it should be, but it's not.
But I'm sure the company is the circular. We'll have to look that up. Okay.
Yeah, and you can tell that they've really been used because look at the top of this one.
Wow.
Compared to the top of this one.
Wow. Is that like, are those like really old rubber bands that are decayed and stuck on there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And for the viewers, Grandma Tina is Lindsay's great grandmother who just passed away last December. And so that's so cool that your mother brought you her needles.
And like, there's like marks on this one. I don't know if that was for.
It's to measure with.
Yeah.
It's handy.
And like
And you
this
can
little
see-
guy.
She used that so much that it's like the other straight needle, the wooden one you just had, you could tell she used it so much it was bowed from the
Oh, yeah.
hand. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then there's like even older ones. Like this one is like wooden.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's fantastic.
Some random huge ones.
Oh, you know what those were for?
Nope.
Usually those giant ones like that were to make rugs with.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, and a giant.
Sometimes, like with great giant roving, you could make rugs with roving or giant rug yarn. Yeah. So hard on your hands, though. Oh my gosh, I've done it, and it's hard on your hands. Well, for me anyway. Yeah.
There's a lot of these plasticky ones.
Yeah. From the 60s. Yeah.
With like the weirdest
Ends.
stopper thing. Yeah, ends.
But
So, yeah.
that's so neat that she left that for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Super cool. Now just wait till she starts bringing. Did you get your key back, or is she going to be dropping off other stuff?
No, I have my key.
All right, so you're going to start knitting. Or do you want to show us while you're in sharing mode? Do you want to show us your shawl, your cozy winter?
I'll also show, I finally blocked this one.
Oh, that's, yeah, I can already see the lace opened up quite a bit.
Oh, it did.
The feather and fan section.
Oh, wow, it really, really did.
It's pretty.
Oh.
And remind everybody, which one is that? The Grocery Girl shawl?
All from the grocery store.
All from the grocery store. Okay, and that's by Hohi Locatelli?
Yes.
Yep, link down below.
So.
That's so nice.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to see that in person. And
I can't wait for winter so you can wear it all.
Now. And then here's my cozy winter.
Love it.
Oh, I do. I love it so much.
And that is going to open up that eyelet section's really going to open up too.
I'm going to see which repeat I'm on. I can't remember. It's been a while since I worked on this.
And
Are you going to try to work on it during the podcast?
No, I'm just going to tell you which repeat I'm on.
Okay, like, holy cow, that's some skill, sister.
And that's the Malabrigo Rios in Plomo, the purpley color.
Yeah.
We're all three.
I'm working on repeat number 8.
Nice. We're all three doing the shawl out of Malabrigo Rios in various colorways.
Yes.
That's lovely. Do you love it?
I love it.
Oh.
I was kind of getting far ahead when you were gone. Like, in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm really keeping up. Like, and then I was like, I kind of want to slow down because I don't want to finish and then not be able to bind off because I wouldn't have known how to do.
You would have.
So then I just put it away, and here we are.
And here we are. So then you're working on your sock and the shawl.
Yeah.
And the next Afghan square will be first week
For
of
me, number 4.
Okay. Okay. So you have 5
started it, and then I can't remember if I shared this on here or at Patron Knit Night, but I started it, and then I have this problem where I don't like to count after I've cast things on because I just want to be done casting on. So I just start. And so I was kind of just like moving along on the block, and I kind of felt like, this seems a little off, but I just kept going. And then I was like, maybe I should count this. And I was off by, like, I hadn't cast on enough stitches.
So
I only off by 1, but 1.
Well, that makes it, yeah. Sometimes when I get in a mood like that, I will get out my stitch markers and I'll cast on 20, put a marker, cast on 20, put a marker. So I don't have to go back and recount it.
Yeah, sometimes I do that. And then sometimes I cast on 20 and then can't remember if I cast on 20 and then put a marker or cast on 25 and then put a marker. So then I end up having to count anyway.
Post-it notes.
Oh.
Yeah. You just got to write down what you do as you do it. So.
True.
Or tell Siri to make a note.
I know.
You can tell Siri to make a note?
I think.
Huh.
Can't you?
Yeah. Hey, Siri. No, this Siri. Make a note.
What do you want it to say?
Count 22 when you're casting on.
Okay, I created a note. Count 22 when you're casting on.
See?
There you go.
There's nothing Siri can't do. She can even turn down my air if I get too hot.
My Siri is an Australian dude. Yeah, I like him. Yeah. He's nicer to me than the woman was.
Oh.
She
Sometimes
couldn't
our girl is kind of mean.
Yeah. Siri didn't understand me at all until I finally realized, I Googled, why doesn't Siri understand me? And I read it on Facebook, I don't know, but I had to tell Siri that I was Canadian. That I had a Canadian accent.
But you're not.
Well, but apparently I sound like I'm Canadian. So then Siri now understands me.
That's very interesting.
Huh.
I have no idea why.
Sometimes I'll tell Siri to do something, like we have the home pod thing, and I'll tell Siri to do something, and then Hayden will tell Siri to do something, and her attitude is very different with the two of us.
Really?
Yeah, like I'll say, hey Siri, whatever, turn on the lights. Please don't. And Hayden will go, and she'll go, okay. And then Hayden will do the same thing, and she'll go, done. Sucks.
So your Siri's like chauvinistic woman?
Yeah.
Your Siri's a bitch. You need to make her She's like, oh, I just took a glass of having a sip of water. You need to switch to a British or an Australian man. And I wonder if the attitude would change. You should try that.
We'll try it. We'll give it a try.
Oh, I want to know. I want to know how that works out. You should tell us in the next podcast how the attitude changes if Siri is a man. But it is knitting related because Siri can make notes for you about how many you were casting on.
There we go. I don't know why I gave her such a random number like 22.
I don't know.
Hopefully I'm casting on 66 or something else that's divisible by 22.
Bill, what are you working studiously on?
Socks.
It is not a sock. I tell you what, I kind of, so I have multiple whips, and I was a happy monogamous knitter. I really was. I had my one knitting project. I'd come home, I'd knit on my one project. I'd think about my one project. I'd finish my one project, and I was very happy. And then I started a project that was too difficult for me to do without assistance. And at the encouragement of some of my knitting friends, I cast on a second project while the first project was still sitting there waiting for help.
It's necessary to do sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. So then what happens when you get stuck in your second project? So then you have your first project that you're stuck on, and your second project that you're stuck on, and you're traveling.
You cast on a third.
You can't travel without knitting.
No!
You cast on a third. And then you know what happens?
Multiple whips.
Anxiety about knitting. And then you don't know what to do, because once you figure out how to move past that one problem in the one, or move past that one problem in the two, then you've got 3 projects that are all sitting there waiting to be done.
So then you have the flexibility of knitting whatever strikes you at the time.
I know, but what if you want to get them all done at once?
Right.
So then you like set your kitchen timer and you work on one for 2 hours and then switch.
Supposed to be relaxing, people.
So Joel, what are you working on?
So
hat.
Do you know?
Oh, is this the matching one for the?
So I showed
the Tchaikovsky.
I showed the Tchaikovsky hat. Did I have the pom-poms in the last podcast?
No, you just mentioned that it was going to be giant.
They arrived, and I got 2 because I wasn't sure which one to get. So this is one. And I was asking Lindsay, I said, okay, so which pom-pom do I use? Because I got 2. This one has black tips on it, and I wasn't sure.
This is not a conversation you had with me.
What?
This is not a conversation you had with me.
It is.
Maybe you're getting me confused with June.
No, because you were the one that suggested, because I couldn't decide which one, and you suggested Mommy and Me hats.
No, I didn't. You suggested Mommy and Me hats.
Okay, I'm like, I know I talked to you about Mommy and Me.
We were in the car going to wherever we went in Missouri, and you showed me the hat, and you were like, it's too big. And you were like, it would almost fit me. And then you were like, I should make her one.
Yes.
So you're giving me a lot of credit for an idea that you came up with yourself.
Huh.
But now you remember the conversation.
I do. So this is where the pom-poms came from, off of Etsy. Minnie Marie Company.
Oh, cool.
Was very, very reasonable, and I absolutely love the poms, and they come with nice little strings, so I can attach them either this way or with a button, you know, however you choose. So I am working on a hat for the mama to do matching mama and me hats.
Oh, that's so
that has a timeline, I'm telling you, because now I don't know what to do.
Why is there a timeline?
Because the baby is due shortly-ish.
I feel like that could be a first birthday present, though.
Or in the fall when the baby will wear it because it's going to be getting cold.
That could be too.
Or a first birthday when it will fit the baby.
You know what?
Hold up the pom-pom.
Remember how we thought it was so huge, and I was trying to decide what needles to cast on if I did a mama one. So I checked gauge. It's at gauge.
Okay, it still looks huge in comparison to the others.
But I went back to the pictures. I think it's intended to be slouchy.
Okay, and larger on the brim.
Yes, because when I looked at the picture, the brims come down here, and you know sometimes when brims cover your ears all the way.
Yeah.
It comes all the way down and covers the ears. So I think it's intended to be a brim that covers.
Okay.
So I think it's intended to like droop just a little bit.
That's cool.
So
Nice.
I also may or may not have tried it on my head to see if it would stretch, and then I figured it really was a baby size.
Now it has been stretched, but you'll block it. It's fine.
That was the question I had. How do you block your hats?
Oh, well, okay. At the risk of sounding sarcastic, the same way I block everything else. And then there's
So, like, you block it like on a head?
No.
Yeah, I've heard some people like use a balloon or
you could put it
ball.
on a bowl. You could put it on a bowl. You could put it on a balloon. I hate balloons. Like truly hate balloons.
Why do you hate balloons?
They're obnoxious. And I hate that scritching sound when your fingers touch them. I will kill someone. I hate that. No, oh my word. That's worse than styrofoam. It's equally as bad as styrofoam. The scritching on a balloon. And balloons create horrible waste. And then helium ones, people let them go and it ends up in a forest and it's awful and wildlife eats them. And I hate balloons. And I hate balloons when they randomly pop or when someone is a smartass and they pop them on purpose. I just hate them in general.
I got it.
Anyway,
Sorry I asked.
You could use them. You could get a styrofoam wig head if you really want to, or you could just lay it flat on a towel.
Just lay it flat on a towel and it blocks just fine.
It's, not a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you always block your hats?
No. I mean, if it's for me or my kids, then no, because I don't care that much and I just want to wear it. But if it's for a gift, then yeah. But like those glass jars you have behind you, Jill, behind you, you could just put it on that.
Oh.
Whatever. Yeah. Maybe not a balloon.
You
We
have
put it on. Actually, we were making a hat look fancy once for a picture for Lindsay's Ravelry page, I believe. And I think we took a great big thing that all my serving utensils were in.
We did 100%.
Yeah. But I would
stand up straight.
I'd just put it on a person and take a picture. I don't know. You guys are more like formal about those things than I am.
Maybe June. I don't know. Maybe it was somebody that it wouldn't fit.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah. So when we did it, we always try to take a picture. You take the nose picture.
The nose picture?
The nose picture. Yes, everybody see Lindsay.
Everybody takes these pictures where they're like
the profile
where they have the hat, but you can always see their nose very clearly. They all look good, but that's why we always call it the nose picture.
I don't have a hat.
Okay.
I was gonna model it.
Huh.
I do not have a hat.
I've never noticed that. But now I'll look. Now I'll be mindful.
Well, and you'll notice that they all take the nose picture.
They do. When we were talking about hats last time and we were talking about gauge, because I was talking about that Tchaikovsky hat, and I was laughing because the first hat I ever did, I really paid zero attention to gauge. And I found that picture and I was going to share. And
Oh yeah, you showed it to me.
I know I did. It was hilarious. And now I'm not going to be able to find it. Gosh darn it. I thought I was prepared for today's podcast. I had it right before the podcast, put a little heart on it. And now I can't figure out how to find my heart.
Oh my word.
And she's not looking down.
Isn't that fantastic?
That's
Yeah, there she
hilarious.
is.
And do you still have that?
No, we released it. First, it was a stuffed animal carrier for quite a while. It was a purse for a while, and then it was a stuffed animal carrier for a while, and then I just had to release it and let it go.
Meaning you gave it away or frogged it?
The yarn was not fancy enough to frog, and I didn't really even know about all that stuff at the time, and so, no.
Okay.
I think it just went away.
It just went to somewhere else. It went to hat heaven.
It went to the farm.
There you go. Over the Rainbow Bridge.
Can you imagine what all the hats look like over there? It'd be awesome. Hats that are like this big, hats that don't really fit on your head.
It's kind of seems Willy Wonka like.
It would be. That would be a fun thread on the page of a thread of your biggest gauge mistake, any hat catastrophes like mine.
Oh, I've had plenty. Yeah.
I bet there's some good ones out there.
Yes. So show us your other whips.
So the two that I got stuck on that I was no longer stuck on, I have a sock.
Yay! Your very first
sock.
walk. That's lovely.
I am so happy.
Proud. You should be super proud. That's amazing.
I am. Man, socks feel good, and that's why people knit homemade socks. Holy cow, I never knew until I put it on.
Yes, like you said the other night, it's like a little foot hug.
It's like a hug. Like take your favorite yarn and let it hug your feet all day long. Just makes you happy. So.
Oh, I agree completely. I went through a phase where I knitted nothing but socks for a couple of years.
It's pretty awesome. So I did cast on the second one. I will tell you the Kitchener, you can see the beginning of my Kitchener and the end. You can see me progressively get better with the stitches, which I think is hilarious, but
But
it's your first one. It's fun. It's great. It's fun.
Yes.
I feel like you can always see where I did the Kitchener.
Well,
maybe not this time you can't.
No, that's great. That's great. Yeah. I think that looks great. You have a nice rounded toe.
It's your toe.
See, I like that so much better than like the trapezoid shape.
Same.
The wedge thing, I don't like the wedge.
Yeah, that's
yeah, great. That's
rounded toe.
Yes.
Yep. So I'm trying not to just walk around wearing one sock around the house, which I've actually considered quite a bit. So
yeah.
Yes. So that was the thing. So I've started sock number 2, and now I can just knit. But I also started this hat.
And the shawl.
And the shawl.
Show us your cozy winter.
I will find my cozy winter.
Because you all were at a similar point a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah. And I too was doing really, really well, cooking along, thinking it's a knit along. I'm going to be knitting along. And yeah, then, well, I got to a point where you really have to focus, and I was traveling a lot, and I was not doing the kind of traveling or the kind of sitting where I could focus on it. So I have just finished repeat number 5 is where I'm at.
Yeah. So do you think that, well, Lindsay, I'll ask you since you're on repeat 8, you said, do you think
I don't know. Are you going to ask me if I'm going to go longer?
Well, I was going to say, do you think if you were to figure that you 2/3 into do you think 12 will be enough?
I don't know. I need to wait until I see what 12 looks like.
Knowing that you'll block it.
Right.
I figured the unblocked dimensions, with the triangle down toward your waist, and then across the top, you know, I have like a 6-foot wingspan. I have gargantuan arms. So I'm going about, well, 74 inches, I think is what she said for blocked dimensions, but I don't know.
The ones that I've liked the pictures of, they've gone like 16. So that's how I figure I will end up doing it. I will like to wear it more of a wrap instead of like a triangle kerchief around. And I think if I want to do the wrap and have enough
to use like a cuff or a shawl pin. Right. Well, and you'll know when you get there, you'll know. Yeah. Yep.
So this is mine.
You, and that's fantastic. You've learned so much. You've got cables, lace, shawl. That's a huge first. I-cord edging. You've like totally leveled up with that.
I'm telling you what.
Russian join.
I was saying, yep. So the 2 little pieces sticking out there, I haven't woven those in yet. That was my very successful Russian join, and I am super excited. And it was your video that helped me. And so
you've got like 6 or 8 brand new skills all wrapped up into that one bigger project.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Oh yeah. Getting a little bit less afraid.
You just had to get brave and do it.
It was funny. You can see where I made the same mistake in the same spot. I would get to the row ahead and I would have too many stitches. So I'd have to go backwards. And I wasn't sure the first time, like, well, I'm not sure if that's really a stitch or not. So I'm going to mark it. I'm going to drop it and then mark it. And I was going along. Nope, it's fine. And I got to a point where I had too many stitches. So I backed up and thought, okay, I'm just going to mark it in case it really is a stitch. And then I realized they're all in the same spot. I'm like, okay, what am I doing?
You want to know what you're doing there? You're going from a yarn over to a purl stitch. Yep. And I got to do that extra wrap. And that's why on the yarn over yo video that I have the yo yarn over video just for that. I talk about that because that has thrown off a lot of people. They keep saying I have an extra stitch or I don't have enough stitches because they're not doing the yarn over into a purl stitch properly.
Yep. And then I did put in a lifeline because there was a couple mistakes that I fixed, and I was so nervous going backwards because I was really afraid that I was going to create more issues going backwards than I would have living with the issue moving forward. But it was big enough that I couldn't go forward. So
yeah, you didn't feel good about leaving it, right?
No, not at all. So it has some design features in the I-cord edging, which I prefer to think of as like battle scars.
Yes, you've learned so much with that.
The I-cord is messed up, but you know what? That's where I tinked back and won. So.
Take that!
Exactly. Yeah. So I am super happy with that. Oh, and of course.
Fantastic.
And, because.
Dishcloth. I've made like 3 of them now.
So that's because it's always on the needle. So
that's an easy and fast thing to just take in the car. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No thinking. You can talk to people. You can stop and put it down whenever you need to. And I need some.
Yes.
They're one of my favorite go-to gifts. I realize we're not talking about dishcloths today.
It's okay. No, it's okay. It's a whip. It's all right.
It's a great love.
Yes. It's a whip. Right.
So, yep.
Awesome. Cool.
So those are my whips.
So I have the cozy winter shawl, obviously, but what I'm doing while we're talking is just a basic cuff down sock, contrasting colors, and this is just the vanilla latte ribbing, which is knit 6, purl 2 on the first round, and then the second round is just knit. So there's the one that's done, and then I did the Eye of Partridge heel on that.
Yeah.
And, like I said, it's just knit. See how that kind of makes the seed stitch ribbing? It's just knit 6, purl 2, and then this round 2, you just knit all the way around. Easy.
I like that.
So these are just for me. They're just, I just needed socks because like you, I was going back and forth. It was the end of the school year. The kids had some events. I had to do the taxing several weeks of just running around to different events. And I needed something I could just take with me to wait for them and, you know, mom stuff. So this is number 2. And I've just been working on this, you know, when I'm videoing or when I don't have the presence of mind to work on my cozy winter, which I just dropped 3 stitches. Messing with that. Let me pick those up real quick and then I'll fix them because I'm mid-row. So I shouldn't really even be picking it up because I'm mid-row. But, well, that's backwards. Okay. So mine is going to take many more repeats because like I mentioned in the video, the gauge on mine, I had more stitches per inch than the pattern calls for. And I knew that going in, but it made the texture and the density of fabric that I wanted and I liked it. And so I went ahead with that. And, you know, it's just interesting how different people knit because we're all using the same yarn. And I don't know what size needles. Do you guys remember what size needles you're using? I'm using 7s. So that's why, obviously, that's why. I'm using 7s. I don't know why, because I wanted to.
But you got more stitches per inch?
Well, yeah, because they're smaller needles.
Oh, because they're smaller.
Yeah. So what the deal is, I will end up
I wonder why you're using 7s.
Because I liked it. And I'm the boss.
No, I know. I just wonder why we both chose 10s.
What's the pattern call for?
I think
It must call for 10s because I wouldn't have. I always do what the pattern calls for because I don't like to check gauge.
And I'll translate for viewers. Lindsay doesn't like to check the gauge.
This is what happens. You saw what happened when you don't check gauge.
But it's a shawl. It's a shawl.
Fit me.
She can do what she wants. It's a shawl.
It already fits.
Yes. So the point is, however, I have many more repeats than just 12. I think I'm already up to like 16 already. And that's fine because I'm digging it and I like it. And like this portion is much more dense and warm.
Yeah.
And less airy.
Oh, that's pretty.
It will be, I need to do more repeats because I'm not there. I'm not there yet. I'm about, well, if I look at this end, yeah, I probably have another about that much more to go. So yes, I love that pattern. And like you, Jill, I want to do one that is rectangular. And what else? I have lots of whips that are dormant. They're like in hibernation right now just because I had to get this shawl done for the auction. And yeah, just regular, just stuff, just little things I have going, normal stuff from before that's just dormant for a while. There's always socks, other socks kicking around.
Doing the cozy winter made me realize that I can do things. And I was at a yarn shop near St. Louis, and I sent Lindsay a picture of some yarn. She's like, oh, that's beautiful. And I put other ones there, and she said, oh, Jill, that would make a great fade. And I said, oh, Lindsay, that's really expensive yarn.
Was it Chicago or St. Louis?
This was St. Louis. I did it.
Oh,
I'm so jealous.
Oh,
I want to squish it.
So this is birthday and Christmas and Mother's Day money all tied up into one. So this was on my wish list.
La Holla.
La Holla. It's really nice yarn.
Did that say barefoot in Barcelona?
It is 100% superwash merino.
Right.
So
on the back of one of the tags it said La Holla barefoot in Barcelona.
Did it?
Yeah.
So the colors.
Oh, that's the colorway name. Okay.
Slate and blue
I should have had to get mine. I had the money.
Well, and the way I thought of, okay, this is an investment when it's a bucket list thing, okay, and that I will have lots left over. That's what I kept telling myself because it's an investment. And
if you have leftovers, you can always do socks.
So that's what it will look like, and I'm super excited, and I think I can do it now.
Of course you can. So is that going to be the Find Your Fade shawl from Andrea Mowry?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Yes, because it's a nice wrap, and then that should do my 3.
Oh, I really want to do that shawl, but I don't I gotta find a fade. Yeah.
I was not intending on going in and looking at it, and Lindsay said that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's it. And I was like, okay. So then, you know, the moment of reality hits when then you go to the checkout counter because none of it's tagged. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, I can do this. And why do you gravitate to like the nicest yarn? So I couldn't gravitate toward the cheap yarn.
No, because you understand quality and that it's going to touch you and you're going to be wrapped in it for decades. And it lasts a long time. Quality yarn will last and it will hold up to washing and it won't pill and get funky like acrylic does. And it's worth it. It's an investment. It's just like you would buy nice clothes. You're investing in nice clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's one of those pieces that I will have forever. So that's kind of what I told myself. So
no, it's true. And people don't think anything about spending over $100 on a pair of shoes or like Birkenstocks, for example, because they'll last for decades.
Yeah.
This is no different. Right?
So I hope not.
Oh, that's pretty. I can't believe you bought it and didn't tell me.
I was saving it for the podcast, and here's the other thing. They offered to wind it for me, but I said no because when I showed it, I wanted it to be in the beautiful little hanks.
So we'll get together again in a couple of weeks probably, and we'll see, maybe then we'll be able to show photos and, well, you guys will have your cozy winter shawl in hand. Mine will need to be sent off for the auction, but I'll have a photograph that I can share at that time. So yeah, so we'll look forward to seeing those next time. All right. Thanks for another episode, you guys. Yeah. Oh, we should be the uncultured pearls. You guys are cultured. I'm not. All right. Talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.